Let me ask you this, all right? We're not going to talk about Portland first until I get my other shit off because it all goes together, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have, first of all, yes, I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm giving you time, not doing the most.
DJ Normal Ass Carl in the mix.
To my front, I have my man at Just Lex. And together we form
Normal Ass
Voltron.
Carl and Just Lex.
Ow. Court is in session. You know what I'm going to ask you now, I think, because I've foreshadowed it enough. But before that, do you own a pair of hiking shoes?
No.
Would you wear them? They have to be legit, like cool ones or whatever?
If I was going up, no, I'd probably wear them.
Because I feel like you do a lot of hikes now, so
I wouldn't say that.
You talk about going up the mountain. You just went on a hiking, expedition like Lewis and Clark. You know what I mean?
It really was on one of them joints.
Did you find? Nah, I got hella questions. But
would you like to sprinkle the questions in as I recap?
Well, you're gonna actually answer it a little bit, so it's okay. So I got a few listeners. Yeah, spicy baby. I told them. So I had a few listeners hit me up after our episode last week, and a lot of them been hitting me like, "Hey man, is Lex okay?" And I felt like, yeah, I gotta defend my man in the moment. But if he's coming off like that to these 7 people that have hit me up, there's maybe more wondering, hey,
I got a DM too.
He sounds a little disgruntled. I know, but see, yeah, you almost had me but yeah, the first person. She's like, yeah, didn't sound like he wanted to be there. Said, might have been true. might have been true. I don't give a shit. This is a slave ship we working here. It's reverse slavery. He gonna be here. The second person was like, look, I just been noticing, a lot more conversations and self-explorations with some psychedelics, and just want to make sure he doesn't get addicted. And I was like, yeah, you're right, but he don't have an addictive personality like that. He's really good at cutting it off. So the people just want to make sure that you're okay, right? So with that being said, you did have a fun ass trip planned. You could tell us, about your journeys and explorations and all that, man. So what's going on with him?
Shout out to all those who show concern, I guess, even if it's not to me directly.
He feel good about that too. He liked that, getting that one off. Like,
no, I appreciate all fan engagement. But yeah, so I went to Portland for a few days to do Portland shit. Shout out to Sal and Beatrice. We went up there, and I was like, yo, what
3-hour flight, right?
Man, out of all 4 of my flights, all of them was delayed.
You took 4?
I had a connector on both ways.
Who'd y'all fly with?
Southwest.
And you did that? Shit, you couldn't find.
We dropped off in San Jose, and look, man, I don't do the itinerary, man. I just show up.
Damn. Yeah, I can't change plans. I try not to, at least. It's been a while since I've had to.
There you go with that wealth flex again.
That's not wealth. It's fucking Southwest.
Look, man.
All right.
I'm a spirit guy myself.
Jesus.
My knees hurt a little bit.
That's even worse because they have hidden fees. Like, just let me know what's going on up front.
Nah, I read those terms and conditions. You ain't gonna hit me with this junk fee. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so we got there hella early, right? Because, especially with the construction of the airport and all that. So we was there like 2 hours early. And I can't.
Oh yeah, that construction is crazy.
But I got through TSA in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but how long did it take you to get to the front? Oh, did they park?
5 minutes.
No, what time did y'all leave?
We left at like 8 p.m.
on a Tuesday. Oh,
on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, y'all got there way too early. Then.
Way too early.
Yeah, on a Sunday. I leave an hour and a half before my flight.
Man, I'm one of those. I'm trying to push it because I fucking hate just sitting at the airport.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So I sat there. I walked about 4 or 5 miles around the airport.
Damn.
Get my rings closed.
That sucks because you don't get no real air.
No.
I be thinking about shit like that. Like, dog, I want to know
what that. The Southwest terminal.
Jail is not for me.
Southwest terminal is hella small.
Absolutely.
And so I need more scenery than that. And I'm just sitting there like, yo.
And the lights is hella bright in
everybody's looking
there.
at me like, yo, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
I went to the bottom of the stair. I helped at least 5.
What gate were you in? I don't know.
I'm always at like gate 7.
Oh, yeah, it's the nasty side.
And
There's no food on that side, right?
No, it's like an Einstein bagel or nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And I helped like 5 ladies up the stairs. I was trying to be productive with it because the escalator was out.
Oh,
so they had their bags, and I was like, "I got you." I'm
8 p.m. Lex is crazy at the airport.
Nah, this is like 5:30.
Oh damn! It's
That's
still
how early we was.
Leave it on, and that's cheap though. That's a good flight though.
And then San Jose. That was a longer. I got a couple miles in there too. I was waiting.
How long was the delay there?
Like an hour, extra hour.
Nah, I can't do that. I need to go straight through. Yeah.
That's why I just start walking around. And then we pull up. We were supposed to get there like 11 or something. We didn't pull up to like 12:31. I was like, fuck, man. Exhausted. So we got to get to this Airbnb. We get into this first Uber to get to the Airbnb before we went to get the rental car.
They tell you he was going to a safe neighborhood?
No, this dude was like, I didn't notice, like, Portland's slow. I'm used to California, so like the thing on the freeway is 60, and everybody follows it.
I think we're the only ones that go 65.
Oh, well, shit. But everybody follows
Everywhere
it.
I go is pretty slow. Yes. Yes.
Because even, like, we don't go 65. We go 70, 75.
Yeah,
like, so I'm sitting there like, yo, why the fuck? Like, he getting paid by the trip, but not by the duration. Why the fuck is he going so? There's open road, dog. I'm fucking tired as fuck. And then, he had like 4 or 5 screens on his Uber dash.
There's too much shit going on.
And I'm like,
Lyft.
He's like, can you hand me my medicine? Like, what the fuck is going on? He had a bag full of shit in between my knees.
Shit. Hand me my medicine. It's crazy.
Man. He had Android. He had all this. He had 2 maps that were going simultaneously. He had a big iPad because I guess he couldn't afford a YouTube subscription. I mean, a Apple subscription. So he had the YouTube going for his music. I'm just like, just get us there, man. We get there, go to sleep. In the morning, we get another Uber to go to the rental car place. First thing he says is, "Oh, well, as soon as he finds out we're not from here, yeah, so Portland's not really a safe city anymore." All right,
that makes sense. Shit, all the cities is like that.
Yeah, because I forgot, Oregon's the first state to legalize, not legalize, but decriminalize hard drugs. And so they're like, yeah, but
he just said it like that shit was Sin City. Yeah,
because,
like the cartoon version.
Because they don't really have gangs and stuff like that, but they have just a bunch of people. Yeah, but not like
they got gangs in Hawaii. That shit
like
threw me off.
Used to. You know what I mean? He's like, they get violent over the drugs, and the homeless problem's an issue. And, we have a homeless issue, so I'm like, well, that's relative. Let me see what's going on. But I've never seen so much graffiti in my life.
Oh, so you was really in Gotham.
And I didn't know. I was like, is it a problem or is it like the response problem? Because everywhere has a graffiti problem, but we do a pretty good job at cleaning it up.
Right.
Like,
but we're also a top 10 like finest city, so they're gonna make sure that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their shit is just like, nope, it's all over the place. And he's like, yeah, man, it's so bad.
Dude, come up to you. What's up,
like,
bruv?
Things are like all the businesses are leaving or closing early. They had to shut down some Walmarts, and I'm like, damn, like y'all don't fuck with the homeless like that. And honestly,
didn't they have those riots in Portland?
Yeah,
makes sense.
Between
you understood it now. Huh? You're like a politician flying in.
The whole time there, Portland, from what I saw, it's either that or Hillcrest. There's no in between, and it's just pocket after pocket of Hillcrest, and you just never know what the fuck you're about to get hit with.
Damn.
And the funny part is all the vegan food is a big vegan place. All the vegan food was good. The regular food is trash.
Dang.
And I got hit with some grease right before I got back on the plane on the way out too. Learned that lesson the hard way. Like, why the fuck we getting Mexican food in Portland when we live in San Diego?
That is crazy. I asked myself that.
But
shout out to Sal and Beatrice though. Relax.
And then
I would have told him, hey, look.
It was the only
across
thing
the street
because they're so slow. It was the only thing open at noon. The day after a holiday. I was like, yo, wake up. Stop being fucking lazy.
How was the 4th of July there?
It was interesting.
Was it very American or not?
Everyone goes.
I love when you ask somebody from California to explain something else because it's almost like we look down upon it. Like,
and I wouldn't say that.
Like how we do.
It was a vibe. It was just like a Gen Z vibe.
What the women look like?
My head wouldn't really turn into much.
Man, come on. Okay, there we go. I thought you was gonna downplay it. Like, hey, man, we all look sometimes. It's okay.
No, I'm okay to look. I just wasn't there yet.
A lot of 6.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot of pails.
A lot of pills. A lot of pasties.
Not,
I was sitting there like,
not
man,
for me,
Portland
and not
always-
for you either.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where's the sisters at, man?
And we was at
Where's the bundle?"
we kind of
store?
went a little outside of Portland to do all the hiking and shit and touristy stuff, right? So the first hike we went to like this fall. There's like these waterfalls. I guess it's the 4th biggest waterfall in the world or some shit, or highest point. And the thing about Portland is, at least from what I gathered, they have directions or signs to do anything and everything, and none of that shit is right.
Okay.
So I went to we get to the thing, and they're like, yeah, I'm about to hike up this mountain. I was like, all right, well, I can go, right? They're like, yeah. The sign said 2 miles to get to this point. They're like, yeah, you can look right over the waterfall. It's like hella dangerous. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. So I start my journey, right? There was a 2 mile hike, a 4 mile hike, and a 7 mile hike.
Which one did you choose?
I was just gonna do the 2 because I didn't want to have them down here waiting on me for the whole day, right? Ended up happening anyway. Because the guy, so I get the sign from down there said 2, or no, it said like 1.7.
Oh yeah, you should
I
be
talked
done
to
in an
this
hour
guy.
and a half.
I talked to this guy. He said, yeah, I've done this already. He's like, yeah, you do this. It goes in a ravine. 2 miles. It's nothing. I was like, I can do 2 miles. I can do that shit in 40 minutes. And then I get up. I start my hike. I'm 2 minutes in. I see a sign that says 0.9 miles. I was like, huh, that's crazy. I guess I'm going to be done even quicker, right? So I just keep walking. There's no sign. And then they have these directories like you're at the mall. You are here. And I'm sitting here I was like, man, I feel like I'm looking at my watch. I'm like 2.5 miles deep. I feel like I should have hit some shit right now, right?
Yeah.
There's detours. Do you want to go to fucking Angel Peak? I'm like, nah, I'm trying to do this other shit. Devil's Rest? Nah, that sounds crazy. No, I'm trying to do this. And so I'm not going that way. And I'm walking and I'm walking.
He said Devil's Rest.
I'm looking, I'm like, fuck, man. And then I finally get to a directory. And it says, you are here. I'm like, I'm on the whole fucking other side of the mountain. I'm about to do the 6 mile joint on accident. And they're going to think I'm lying because I wanted to do the 6 one, but I was like, man, now I don't mind exploring a mountain, but I'm lost.
By yourself.
By myself.
Crazy.
And I was going
This
through.
is how some of those crime podcasts
I was going through all these emotions, right?
Or the missing persons
I
one.
was like anxious, like, oh man, they're down there waiting on me. It's a little warm.
You had no cell service?
No. Nothing. I was like, man, my phone might be dying. Like, I don't mind exploring. Like, I'll get back.
We're not really answering that question well about how you do it because this sounds crazy.
I'm sitting there like, yo, this would be a good shroom hike right here. But then I'm getting upset, like, yo, why the fuck am I lost? There's like and I'm saying like this hike's not hard, but the terrain, a lot of rocks, a lot of things, my ankles are getting tore up. So I finally get to this last directing. I'm just cussing out to nature.
That fast look.
Cussing out nature, like, yo, why am I all the way over here? I might as well just finish the loop because going back.
That sounds like a life question too.
Might as well finish the loop because going back just ain't gonna make no sense. So I'm trying to text him like, hey, meet me at the car because we had to hike like a mile to get to the fall, like this little mini hike. Because I was like, I'm already on this other side, but the text didn't go through. So I ended up just going the whole loop. It was probably like 5.5 miles.
What they say?
Couple
when you
hours.
Get back?
They were just laughing. They didn't, but I'm like, yo, these signs are fucking irritating. Like, I'm getting so much, and I couldn't ask nobody on the way up because nobody speak no English. It was just a bunch of Indian people. And I don't know if they're from Portland or this big Indian tourist spot.
Native American or Indian?
No, Indian.
Oh.
I would have said Native American.
Oh.
But, and yeah, so we went.
I feel you though, because I went to an Indian food spot 2 weeks ago, and just to
was
order
like,
my
yo,
food was crazy.
Am I almost there? And they're just like, huh? I was like, fuck, man. Nobody can talk. And
You
then
know it's racist to do the voice too, so I wanted to do the
wasn't gonna
voice.
do
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
I'm not gonna
I was so fed up on the way
I hate
down
these times.
because now I'm going down and someone's coming up, and usually people ask people like, "Hey, how much longer do you think?" This dude he was having a good day. He's like, "Hey, man, am I almost at the top?" I was like, "Man, I don't know. I ain't never made it." Shout out to him, man. I didn't mean to be rude. I was just irritated.
I had to see that. You're a wits end guy.
Then we get back. We
Let
ate.
this dude hit his wits end, man.
We went to a comedy show that night, right? A comedy club.
Oh, nothing laughable at that point.
Now I wouldn't.
Your body ache. Ain't nothing to laugh at.
I've never been to a comedy club before. Like little underground shit, right? And this was all. I laughed maybe 5 times.
The white comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I figure you like Bill Burr.
I do like Bill Burr. They weren't Bill Burr though.
No,
but the headliner dude was like, "Oh, this dude, he's voted. He was either the funniest dude in Portland or he was a finalist or some shit." So I'm like, "All right."
Must have been a small city.
It was just a lot of Gen Z shit that I just wasn't really hitting for me. I guess he was just talking about taking dick for like 8 minutes, and I'm like, "All right, man."
Oh, he's of the community.
Yeah, but he has a girlfriend for like 3 years.
All right, keep going.
But they be doing like peck, whatever.
I know.
The black dude before them was probably the funniest one. He was the most consistent.
Yeah.
But then again, I probably just understood his jokes more.
Right. there's context there.
Yeah. So,
would you go back
to Portland?
Yeah.
To do those hikes, probably.
Yeah, but nothing else.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
If you had to choose between DC and Portland,
I'm going back to DC.
Oh, okay. All right.
Going back easy.
It's pro style in those events.
The cool part was the next day it was going to be like 95 degrees, and we were like, "Nah, we're going up the coast." So we had to drive an hour and a half to there's like these other hikes, and I didn't realize I was like, "Oh shit, this looks kind of like," because I saw that we went to a place called Seaside, and that's close to a place called Astoria. Now Astoria, I'm sitting there like, "Man, that sounds like that shit from the Goonies." I'm a big Goonies fan. They're like, "Yo, no, that is the city like where they filmed it." I'm like, "Oh shit, for sure." We pop up at this park, and I'm like, man, this shit look familiar. And they got this whole thing right there. This is where the Goonies was filmed. So now I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, oh shit, I'm excited. I'm going to see the little rocks. I'm looking at these little areas, and we're at the beach, right? And we escaped the 95-degree weather. And so I just started exploring this mountain. We start hiking, and there's like no type of...
Did you bring your sand radar dish?
No. The trees are so tall that when you be on these mountains, it feel like AC.
Well, it probably looks like Big Sur.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
They don't have like sand and stuff like that, huh?
There's a little bit of sand at the beach,
but it's not like ours.
We were on the mountain. Nah, not at all.
Yeah, it looked like.
And then so finally they got a little taste of the medicine I had yesterday. We start this one hike. It said 2 miles. 3.5 miles later. And a bunch of irritation. It's cussing out nature.
It's that balance of being, hey, we're going to be finished or we not going to be finished.
No, I was having a good time. I don't care how long the hike is. I just worry about everybody that's with me or people that are waiting on me. Right.
But I'm just saying, there's still, you say irritation. Irritation is finishing or turning around. Like you just start reading.
No, I'm finished. We might as well finish. Just get it done. Just keep going. I'd hike, jump on over. The crazy part is like all the tree stumps and stuff, like falling over trees. It looked like it was placed there on purpose because they're just so like perfect the way they're laying. So we get to this other side of the beach, and she's like, "No, I'm not hiking no more." I'm like, "Oh shit, there's another." Because I wanted to go back, and there's another hike on the other side. But I was like, "Oh, there's a hike on this side too. I might as well just keep going." So they link. They're like, "We're just gonna wait for you. We're gonna go to the store and get some chips or some shit." I'm hungry. I'm like, "All right." I go on the other side, and this said, "Oh, this is where Point Break was filmed. This is where some scene in Twilight was filmed." I'm like, "All right, word." They said this hike is 2 miles. Everything was 2 miles or 1.7. I'm like, cool. No, it said 1.6. I was like, I can do that because this is just to go to the top to look at a lighthouse. And I can see that trail. So like, yeah, just go ahead and do it, right? I go on this hike. I'm going. I get to this first little peak. And these two like brothers pass me. And they're like, oh, this must be it. And I'm like, nah, you got some ways to go. And they start jogging. They're one of them jogging up the mountain people. I'm like, you good. So 5 minutes later, I see them coming down. I'm like, damn, y'all hit the top already? They're like, no, we couldn't find it. And I'm like, well, how far did you go? I was like, I think we went the whole 1.8. And I'm looking at my watch. My watch said 0.7. I was like, no, you got some ways to go. So then they just start following me. I'm trying to have some peace and serenity by myself. There's no cell phone service. I don't have no music in. I'm just hearing the ocean and the fucking trees. And then I just start talking because they're like, I was like, you know, friendly talking to them. They were cool kids. They're like 29, 23. And they're like,
big jump.
This is how small. They're like, yeah, we're from Galveston, Texas. Where you from? I said, San Diego. He said, Texas? I ain't never heard nobody make that mistake before. I only knew San Diego existed in Texas because like booking a flight one time. And I'm just like, yeah, we're here on with our mission team from church. And I was like, oh shit. He's like,
I gotta get out of there.
This can go either way, right? So I just keep talking because I don't want them to talk to me about Jesus right now. So I just keep asking him questions, and he's like, "Yeah, I love running up the mountain. It's fun because
funny.
I did track,
I don't
cross
want him to
country,
start talking to me about
basketball.
Jesus.
I'm doing all this stuff, right?" And I'm like, "All right, kid." And his brother sounded like he was a little developmentally challenged. He was drinking a fucking cherry Coke on the way up in the fucking 90-degree weather. I was like, "Dog." And so I just keep talking. I'm like, "Yeah, I only got to talk for a mile." And he's just, "Oh yeah," and he's asking me about San Diego. He's asking me about football. And he was cool, but he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm really trying to get out of Texas." I was like, "I feel you, I feel you." And then we get to the top, and I was like, "All right, this view is kind of overrated, like in general." But so we're talking, and I swear I got saved at the last second. He's like, "Yeah, man." He just kept talking about getting out of Texas, and he's like, "I'm just gonna follow God's will. If God wants me out of Texas, I'm gonna get out of Texas." And I was like. And then he was like looking at me like, "Hey, do you?" And he asked me about my faith, and I was like, "Fuck, we made it to the top. It's 2 miles down. He's gonna ask me the whole way." And all I hear is, "You guys are in big trouble." It sounded like that, right? So I turned around, see this random white dude. I thought he was just making a white guy joke because of the way he sounded. Right. He was dead fucking serious. and the dude, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh no, this is the view. This is the 1.8." And he's like. Yeah, and he had told me previously, because remember, they were running up the mountain, that they had left the group.
Right.
And he told me they were waiting on a big group, so he was going to have to sit up there. I was like, "Cool, so I don't got to walk down with you." And he's like, "No, this is the view." He's like, "Yeah, where's everybody else?" And he's like, "No, we're waiting for you. We just wanted to come up." And he's like, "Yeah, well, if you would have been with the group, you would have known Pastor Mike couldn't make it." And I'm like, "Oh shit, he really in trouble."
Pastor Mike, what happened to Pastor Mike?
He didn't even say bye. They just dipped and they just started walking back. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay up here a few more minutes."
Pastor Mike is crazy.
Pastor Mike did. I don't know what "didn't make it" means when you're hiking. You know what I mean? Because there's no fences. There's nothing to just stop you from just jumping off this fucking hill. There's landslides everywhere. So I waited a few minutes. I start going down, and about halfway through, I run into the white dude, some girl, and then the little brother. I don't see the big brother who I was doing most of the talking with. And then the white dude sees me and he's like, "Oh, you're jogging down?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, just downhill is a lot worse for me. It's mostly me just hitting the brakes, bad knees. I'm just trying to get there." He's like, "Okay, that's cool. Do you come here often?" I was like, "No, he's trying to get me to talk about Jesus. Nope, never been here before. I'm out of here." And then the little brother sees me, goes, "That's him." I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Right? I had turned my cussing.
That's him is crazy.
I turned my cussing off. I wasn't being a heathen. I was just having good conversation. I was not trying to do that. So I was like, what does "that's him" mean? He's like, I guess the other dude, the older brother, Corey, I guess he got upset because that's who Corey was talking and wanted to hang out with a little bit longer. And Jesse told him he was in trouble and got him upset. That's why he took off.
We out of here after this one. These are white problems.
Apparently he ran away and took off down the mountain.
Oh, so shit. Like, right, yeah, we definitely out of here.
He didn't run away. There's only one way to go.
Right.
But, all right.
That's him is crazy.
Apparently he's upset. I was like, "Oh, shit. I don't want to be in the church problems, right? I don't want no beef, no smoke with Jesus."
That's him.
So I just started getting down. I get down to the bottom of the mountain. He sees me. He leaves his group again, makes a beeline towards me. And this is how I knew. I was like, "Oh, man, yeah, we got to get you up out of Texas." So I went to shake his hand like, "Hey, man, it was good talking to you," right? He comes out. He offers me knuckles. I'm like, "All right." So I switch to knuckles. He switches his hand. I was like, oh. So I went back to the hand. He went back to knuckles. I was like, "You know what, brother?" I was like, "Come here." Gave him the hug. And even that was kind of weird for him. I was like, "All right, let me get out of here." See the car. Boom. Went back to the other side of the mountain. Went on that other hike.
White savior.
The other hike was 1.4.
Man, we not going on another hike story.
No, I keep running into people, man.
I know, man.
I want to be Serenity. That's how this happened.
Sprinkle it in.
All right.
We 30 minutes in. We gotta get to it.
Oh yeah, you got fun shit.
Yep.
I ran into a ski instructor for Vermont. I was like, "Dog, I'm never gonna get no peace on any of these hikes. I keep making friends." Almost died too.
He said you got fun shit. So I ran into a ski instructor. Fuck what you saying.
No, I was getting out of there. I'm done.
Oh shit. That's funny as hell. He said you got fun shit. Anyway.
All right, let's get out of here.
That's funny as hell. Oh, he's back, guys. He found himself. He ain't said that funny in a few months.
Damn,
that's funny.
Few months. That's crazy.
That is, man. Yo, Trip Lex is crazy. Now we got to advocate for Lex to go to New York. That's what we are right there. We gonna make him go to New York. Summertime in New York, that's fire too.
Sounds miserable.
Nah, man. We think Summertime Shootout came from. You go see where Fab made his mixtapes.
It wasn't the greatest mixtape. Soul Tape was in the wintertime.
You like Soul Tape?
More than Summertime Shootout.
You like it better than the Young OG project?
Yep.
No, I like that one. Maybe it's just a nostalgia thing.
But they came out around the same time.
Listen, all right, we're going to talk about some current events, all right? Mm-hmm. We still going to have fun because that was funny. I'm not going to serious this out there.
Yeah, what happened? What happened while I was gone?
So I read an article, and women reveal what men need to stop doing on first dates or on dates. And I'm ready to get my shit off on some of these so we can have fun. All right, first person says, I know not everyone will agree with this, but men really need to learn how to read the room and not bring up sex and intimacy on the first date unless it's 100% clear that person they're on a date with is totally into them. Now,
that's fair.
The word 100% clear is hard.
Oh, yeah.
That's because
like, guys be like, oh, she said hi to me. She trying to take this dude.
Yeah, like that 100% clear. Like, I don't know what that means. Because in my experience, women don't make the first move.
No. And you got like, I'm not a mind reader. You got to be like, hey, I want to fuck you. You got to do that to me, or otherwise I'm just going to sit there and friend zone you the whole time.
The whole time, like, because, I'm not going to jail. like you're cool and all, but not worth me doing a bid. Yeah, so that 100% clear is hard. Number two, sex jokes are fun, right? And just because I make one, I'm going to put it back on them, right? But just because I make one does not mean that I automatically want to have sex with you. Right?
Right.
Absolutely.
That's something that they're not clear about. They think we want to fuck everybody.
My wife has no understanding of that either, right? I'd be like, look, I say the same jokes like to Lex that I would to you, and she'd be like, well, I'm not one of your friends. I know, but it's not 100% clear to me if you're able to take this joke or not, right? Like, so, like, with that being said, I get what she's saying, but it's just hard. The 100% clear part, like, you have to come out and say, and she's painting the scenario which never happens. Hey, my name is Amber. Hi, Alex. Nice to meet you. I'm trying to smash at the end of this date, so let's just have a good time and get there. Hey, Carl, just want to say, you nice meeting you and everything. Compound me to death, right?
Like, the same girl talking to both of us?
No, just different ones, different experience. I'm just saying, like, it does. I'm painting a scenario that just does not happen, right, at all. And even still, there's a tactful skill to switch from having, hey, we're having a great time right now and enjoying each other, to let me let you know that, hey, you can get this work if you want to. It takes skill to get there, right? And tactic and smoothness. You can't be. Have you seen that spin the bottle video where the guy like was spinning the bottle and they was all playing the game and then he stopped it on purpose to the girl? He's like, "Come on, I'm thirsty. Like I need this. Kiss me." Right? Like that comes off weird. So to be able to switch gears, very tough. Next person says, insisting on picking us up at our home. I don't want you to know where I live. I'll meet you there. Now, personally, Ma, if you messing with a real one, I don't want to know where you live either. I would save gas.
Otherwise, yeah, I was just being a gentleman and like, hey, but yeah, first date, like, you don't know me.
Yeah. And I don't know you either. I'd rather meet you in a public space. So I agree with
I don't know if I want to share a car ride with you yet.
Did I ever tell my story about, I did tell it. I did. But I'm going to reiterate it. I met a girl one time online. This was years ago. And I went to her house first time. Her brother, who was a Latin King gang member, he was sleeping on the couch. I like to avoid situations like
Big thirsty.
That. Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, fuck it,
I went to a place equivalent. The complex was like equivalent to Seabreeze.
Well,
if you go to an apartment complex and it's poorly lit, you probably shouldn't be there.
Well, I've already made it in the door. Might as well stay a little while.
Yeah, he was asleep. But I don't want to know where you live. Meet me somewhere public where it's safe. I agree, for you and for me. Because sometimes women will dumb down, like, oh, it's just my brother. He's cool. Oh, he doesn't bite, right? Like, no.
The fact that you have to use that phrase.
Yeah. That means he has the potential of getting upset.
He does a lot of barking.
Oh shit! Stop talking about your ex. If you're still not over your ex, don't date. Women on the first date want all your attention continually. Talking how bad your ex is and how you broke and how she broke your heart leaves a bad taste in our mouth. Listen,
I feel like women do that more than men.
Absolutely.
On the date.
They let that go. No, but they omit a lot of things too on the first date. Like, fam, this is a job application, right? This is a interview. I need to know. I'm asking all the questions I need to because depending on how you answer these,
right,
I may not be back either the next time around.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Yeah, choose one. Taylor Swift is not an option, ma. I can't help you there. But if I'm talking about my ex, I'm also giving you some shit like, yo, if you got some personality traits that like exude this, and I just got out of this, you all right? You hot?
No, I'm good.
Your eye is sweating.
Is it?
Yeah.
Probably allergy.
Okay. To what?
I don't know.
We're indoor.
My eye doctor told me I developed allergies, and I was like, yo, I never had that before. Just glasses.
Might be salt and pepper chicken wings.
Shit hit me from across the room.
But yeah, I'm talking to you about this stuff because if you have any of these characteristics, we don't need to be together. We don't need to hang out. Don't touch me, especially if we meet. Don't touch me, especially if we meet online and not in person through friends or through work. Nothing will guarantee no second date like unwanted touching. I had a man I met online run his fingers across my back multiple times on our first date. Now that's kind of crazy. I agree with you there, right? I'm not rubbing.
It's medium thirsty.
Yeah, is it? That's borderline. Like I'm not rubbing a spine on the first date.
No, me neither.
Yeah, that's kind of like, I don't know. Where do you feel like you learned these norms from, though?
Well, I feel like 2023.
It's not like you go to dating, like a dating class beforehand. Like you go on first dates.
I mean, I guess your mom would probably have to help you, but
did your mom help you?
No,
my mom didn't either.
I skipped the dating phase. My mom just found a condom one day and was like, she tried to just like she was trying to show me something because she did it in front of company. Look what I found in your room.
Oh,
it was
was easier for her.
It was a wrapper, but she was like, but I could tell by the way she was trying to get her shit off. I was like, oh, she over here trying to put. So I said, well, at least you know I'm safe, and I walked right back upstairs. I won that round.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm not doing the.
I didn't even know you had kissed a girl yet, Mom. You got a little catching up to do.
You know what? I think all of my dating manners came from being hesitant in the first place.
Right.
Let's be real. I'm scared of vagina. Like the first few times I went on a date with a girl, and like let's say I wasn't active like that. I was afraid. Like you know what I mean. So fear. Of like, yo, am I coming across too strong because I want to see this person again? Like, yo, y'all can come up with all these rules and stuff like that for men. But for men, like, there is no handbook, like, on dating, on what you're not supposed to do. It's basically fair game on what the other person allows you to do. So I got to try certain things to see if that's in your bag or not.
Well, yeah, in 2023.
In accordance with the law. Let me finish my shit off.
But the log is kind of blurry right now.
Absolutely.
About what the fuck harassment really is and...
Oh, I get harassed all the time too. That's the crazy part. Like women have all these boundaries, but when you catch them in a one-on-one situation or like in situations where they catch you in a flyby, like especially these older women, they will get you.
I had this girl tell me one time, you know, if you made the first move, you'd get a lot more pussy. And I'm like, well, I think I'm good with the amount I got right now. I just always looked at it like, all right, I feel like, or you know, if you are gonna stereotype this, you're always gonna think like, oh, he's down whenever. Right. So if that's the case, then yeah, you have to make the first move, and just whenever you feel the need to, you know, I'm gonna be here for it. Apparently, that's not a thing, or it's not a lot. It's not
I hear a lot of he's not from me, but just like in general, right? Like he's not aggressive. Yeah. And it's like, these are mixed signals from which I'll be publishing on these articles online.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's a wait and see thing. I feel like that at work sometimes. Man, my headphones keeps popping.
I promise you make the first move, I'll make the next 30.
Just show me the green light. Stop offering to pay. Just bring it up later as I owe you something. Stop offering to pay just to bring it up later as if I owe you something in return. I literally won't let a man pay for anything on the first date for this reason.
Oh, that sounds like you attracting the wrong man.
I'm trying to figure out where she's at. Because they ain't like that. I asked my wife this morning. I said, hey, first date, you expected me to pay? She said, yeah. She's like, even now, I continue to expect you to pay. I was like, that's crazy. But she's right. But here's the thing. You do owe me something, Ma. May not be vagina, right? It doesn't have to be that.
What? Because what does he owe you? A back rub?
Here's my reasoning for that. Because you're gonna have me sounding crazy out here, right? But what I mean is, I don't just hit you up and say, hey, Lex, you want to go out to eat and go pay for lunch for you, right? My expectation is that you have the funds on hand for you to be able to go out and eat when you go out. So if we friends, we friends. So the first one's on me. The next one, if we're in the later and you about to friend zone me, especially now, because women will tell you in songs now, like, oh, free meals, blah, blah, blah. Nah.
If we saving people in their phone like that.
Yeah, if we homies, we go to the movies, guess what? You getting your Avenger ticket too, babe. Like it's like you gotta let me know early. Because the transactional piece is, for me, is that if this is gonna be something further, then I'm investing into you. Right? And they hate when we talk about money sometimes. Some of them, right? If I'm putting money into you, I'm expecting dividends. That's it. That's it. And it don't have to be sexual, right? It can be anything. Like, yo, you go out, get me a fire gift or something like that. You take me out somewhere nice to eat or whatever on the third or fourth date because I've shown that I'm worth your dime. But it don't have to be just sexual. How you feel about it?
I mean, I get that.
You going around paying on all the dates? It's cool if that's you.
But I have that kind of old school mentality.
Right.
Like your wife. It's like, nah, I asked you out, I'm going to pay for it. And, yeah, I heard that shit. I don't know. Just, women are becoming more independent, more everything. So I heard this, that Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union shit, where one time he came off and said, what do you say? This is my house. I do this and do this and that. And ever since then, she was like, you ain't never going to say that shit to me. So we doing 50-50 everything or some shit like that.
I like that. I like that.
I get it.
I like that.
But
because there's some truth. It's my house. Unless it's our house, you know what I mean? Then nah, we can't do that. If it's our house and we put in together, great. Yeah. Look, Rick Ross most famously said, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. And although he was right about that, right, he just picked the wrong one.
I mean, it was Drake, but yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I swear he did the
I think he might have ad-libbed part of it.
Yeah, he ad-libbed, yeah. The ad-lib hit harder than the bar. Don't treat a date like a transaction. Women do not owe you anything because you paid for dinner. Also, dude, don't insist on paying if she clearly doesn't want that. Second piece, we ain't got to fight. We're going to talk about that.
I'm going to insist one time, but if you got it, big dog.
Yeah, I'll take it all day long. And I answered that. You do owe me something. Does not have to be, vagina or not. If we are friends, my clear set boundary, shout out to Jonah Hill this week because they tried to get him under fire. Right? If I set clear cut boundaries and it's just my boundaries. If we friends, we friends. We going Dutch, baby. We could be friends all day long. Hey girl, how was your day today? Oh, it was great. Cool. Yeah, they just chill. They tripping at the work again. See you later, friend. Like, you want to go hang out at the movie, friend? Let's go. We could do all kind of friends. I'm that guy. We could be friends to the very end. Well, at that time, I was that guy. I ain't got time like that now. But, yeah, we friends, we friends. My wife started treating me like a friend. Hey, best friend. That we just married now. This is just a partnership. Other than that, yeah. Sounds very misogynistic, but I'm just telling the truth, man. We got to start speaking our truths on how hard it is out here. All right, so you don't have to hit the hand claps. Is the Supreme Court wilding? Harvard University admitted a record number of Asian American students to its class of 2027. Move experts are wary of the celebrating given the drop in admissions of most of other minority groups. It comes as the Supreme Court continues deliberations on a lawsuit brought against Harvard by a right-wing group that alleges race-conscious admissions discriminate against white and Asian students. Now that's crazy to me. When you got the Asians siding with the whites and in a very conservative manner, that's crazy to me because most of them conservative dudes, let me tell you what the link is in my brain. The number one search on Pornhub, I think, on the West Coast, because they showed the graph and stuff like that, was Asian porn, right? So I know that some of these right-wing dudes, they love them a nice Far East girl, right? so now that makes sense, right? That's my correlation and connection in my own brain, right? And so if y'all didn't realize, is that affirmative action 2 weeks ago, we wanted to talk about that, ceased to exist at Harvard and I believe UNC or North Carolina University. So a Pew Research Center poll released last month found that 50% of Americans disapprove of certain colleges and universities taking race and ethnicity into account in admissions decisions to increase diversity. Only 33% approved of the practice and 20% didn't give a damn or even participate. Now, the reason why I say this is because even now, 2 weeks later, that's no longer a big deal, right? It's not like the same as like gay marriage, not the same as same-sex couples and stuff like that. There's even another one in Utah that the Supreme Court overturned too, right? And so now what I love about the politics that we're in right now is that I get to see people's true colors. There's a lot of people walking around feeling like, yo, like different minority groups and the stuff that they go through is no longer a big deal in America anymore. You know? And to me, like you would think prior to Trump that we are a really progressive society and we're trying to, make amends for all the things that happened, previously before. But right now, there are a lot of people just walking around not giving a damn.
Well, yeah, and they use that part as the excuse, right? I've heard people say racism is over because we had a black president. I was like, all right.
That's great. The way you say that, right, is like, and I agree with you, but the way you say that, it was like, that was number one on our list. If we can get a black man to represent this country, all of our problems cease to exist anymore.
To think that is that surface level is kind of crazy, but that's how they think. And that's why it's like, oh, affirmative action is a form of like reverse racism and all this other shit. Look, I agree affirmative action shouldn't be a thing. But if that's the case,
that's right, because you're a recipient that we're like, it's like, yo, I'm
let me clear myself up before someone wilds up. Don't cut me off before I'm finished with my disclaimer.
Go ahead.
If affirmative action isn't going to be a thing, your numbers better reflect it. There's a reason it was put in place in the first place.
Absolutely.
So if you want to take it away, that's cool. But the numbers better reflect it.
That y'all are still accepting other people in there. He said, don't cut me off. Let me finish my shit. Let me get my shit off. They already worried about me.
I'll be the shit you clip too.
No, I would clip the whole thing. I'd do the whole thing. I wouldn't do you like that. Nah, I want people to listen to us. I don't want you to be out here like Alex Murphy, like you just spewing out here rhetoric, spewing out kind of crazy rhetoric. But yeah, Lex is right. And you know what? Like, even with affirmative action in place, like around the time I went to college in 2008, which was probably about 25, 30 years after affirmative action had first got into place, 'cause I think it was like an 80s thing, right? But at the end of the day, when that all, maybe even 70s, but even after that, like all the UC schools, there's nothing but Asian people there and white folks. I see, and if I did see the black dude, he was the guy that lived in Eastlake prior to all of us going out there and moving there before our dads, joined the military. You know what I mean? Like he was that guy, So, like I would. Hey, bro, come in here charged up. Oh man, but like I just look at it like this, bro. I agree with you with the numbers, but sometimes you gotta build. I mean, you gotta destroy before you build again. You know what I mean? And we will see, because 20 years down the line, we'll look at college admission numbers and see what's happening. Will I say that it's more accessible for people? Yes, but they don't live in neighborhoods where it's even easier for you to get to college in the first place.
That and it's getting more expensive with less rate of return.
And that was part of the other argument that they said that, like, you don't even necessarily need affirmative action because there's so many other social and economical issues that are impacting people. Like, why would I spend $400 to apply at Harvard, take the big test and all that other shit? And I know I can't afford $100,000 a year,
right?
Just to say that I went to Harvard, right? So that was the other side of the coin. Hey, you know what happened with the student loans? Not really.
They promised y'all something, and then they said,
"Oh, it's crazy."
Nah, I'm debt free. I didn't take out no student loan.
I got him. We got him.
I paid cash.
We got him. Hey, he talk about wealth all day long. One of us still pay their student loans.
Look, man. Well, one, I didn't have no direction. I might have taken out a loan, but I had nobody helping me do anything.
You applied for FAFSA?
I did.
They said I can't help you.
So I'm saying that affirmative action.
That's crazy because you had a single parent household.
Right. Fucking white man. I ain't get no free lunch in school either after like first grade.
That's what, you know what's crazy? Had you not lived in this neighborhood but had those same circumstances, you would agree with this. Nah, for real, I'm serious because that's how it starts though. It's like, yo, it starts from middle and lower class whites that feel like, yo, I have no advantages that y'all talking about.
Maybe. Because I did get told like I was submitting essays for like scholarships and whatnot. They're like, yo, if you were a woman, you would have won. Or if you were Mexican, you would have won this.
Absolutely.
But
your struggle is real.
We can't give the Hispanic Heritage Award to you. So you got third place. I was like, but it was a great essay. Should have won.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, man.
It's a great essay. So the same holds true for Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that the court blocked. The USA Today poll from April indicated that 52% of Americans were familiar with the case, and a mere 16 were very familiar with it, 16%, and then 71, and then those who had student loans were more familiar at 71%, though that's a very low percentage for something that could affect them directly. So there's just a bunch of people, and this goes into what I was talking about last week. There's a bunch of people that talk about topics and headlines about things, but don't know what the fuck they talking about. Prior to even like putting this in there, I wanted to see what it is, because there's to my knowledge at least, there's two programs that I'm aware of. There's a public service loan forgiveness program that's been around prior to Biden being there, right? And they told me, they was like, look, October come, you just got to make 12 months of payments and you should be good. They gave me all the COVID benefits by still working for the government and everything else. So I was like, all right, cool. But then the one that Biden was talking about, I was like, look, bro, you got 10K on there or whatever, we can erase that 10K, get out, right? I would have never had to make any payments. Right. So remember, we all filled out well, not you, but a lot of us filled out some forms, turned them in, and the courts blocked it and, and made Biden stop there. And I heard that he could change it, but he ain't going to do it right now. He going to wait till his election time.
Right.
A smart man.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I ain't mad at him. So hit my hand class, man. That was current event bars. Something you got to deal with. Read them in wheat. This is a lengthy one. Pause. That's what she said. Am I in the wrong? I recently found out I was pregnant with my boyfriend. The pregnancy was not planned, but now husband, right? The pregnancy was not planned, but we decided to keep the child. We have been together for almost 2 years and are in our late 20s. We're financially stable and are capable of supporting a child. This is part of the problem. And this is going to sound real, misogynistic, but I've noticed a trend in these type of men and women. I told my husband I wanted to keep my last name, and he was completely supportive. But now we've run into a conflict because I want the baby to have my last name instead of his. I don't really have a good reason for this other than the fact that I want to pass down my last name. I am an only child. My husband's reasons for wanting to give this baby his last name are the same, except he's not an only child, and he's already has nieces and nephews with his last name. We don't want to hyphenate or combine our names. They're both long and sound weird together. There's no good way to combine them. My husband thinks that it would be humiliating to have a wife and a child who have different last names than him. He worries about what people assume the child is a stepchild. I suggest he change his name to mine, but he doesn't want to do that either. Since it seems like neither of us is going to budge and the baby needs a last name, I think the decision should go to me since I'm the one who is carrying the pregnancy and has to give birth. My husband says that's not fair, and frankly, he's not wrong. It isn't fair. But at this point, there's no solution that isn't going to be unfair to one of us. But it's not like it's fair that I have to be the one to go through the pregnancy and childbirth, yet it's something just something that's accepted since the baby is biologically theirs and nothing we can do about it. Here's the thing, Ma. That's my. Here's the thing, Ma. Might be this. I'm starting to get my shit off. I'll step out on the ledge first because it's a ledgy, right? Y'all got to stop using childbirth as a reason to justify things. The same way I got to do it for like dating and all that other shit and like coming off as creepy and weird or whatever. I'll let you apply childbirth to 5 things in our lifetime. You choose which ones you want to use it for, right? I'm going to have a list of scenarios. I get it, right? We are now past the science to where you no longer need us anymore, but you want us, right? Because you got married, right? You liked me enough to say, hey, I want to go half on everything that I own with this person, right? You can't use childbirth. You needed my sperm specifically to be able to carry this child because we are specifically in a relationship, right? So you can't use that as an excuse. Now, I feel her because I know someone who went through the same thing, but they weren't married. But she wanted to take on all the names. I think a good compromise in this situation would be, all right, instead of giving our child a middle name, how about we just use your last name as our child's middle name and then my last name as the child's last name. That's a good compromise instead of having the hyphenated.
Yeah, but where they're at, that no one's gonna want that middle part. That's not. It's still gonna lead to the same problem.
I don't even know your middle name.
You don't need to.
That's what I'm saying, right? So it's like yo, his name is gonna be forever etched in that family tree with that middle name.
But that's not what they're arguing about. They're arguing about the last name.
Okay.
And
what's the significance?
I'm gonna shoot her a little bit of bail.
Let's hear it. I got him now. Hey, we got him. He likes it.
No,
last week he's like, I don't care about this.
I'm going to shoot her a little bit of bail because she used the phrase, I know it's not fair, but I'm going to do this shit anyway. So she knows. As long as she's self-aware,
yeah,
cool. Now, some of my other old school tactics, like, I'm not with that shit either. Like, no. If you want to marry me, you taking my last name.
I can't think of a justification, though. That's the hard part for me. Other than that's just a societal norm as to why that happens.
You're not Beyonce. And even Beyonce got the shit hyphenated.
What is, their last names are all Carter too, though.
She's Knowles Carter.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the kids is Blue Ivy Carter and all that. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, you're not about to have me out here looking crazy though.
And the thing is, I don't even know if my ego. I don't even know if it's an ego thing. Like I'm not.
For me, it is. Absolutely.
I'm not gonna sit here like. I don't know if I'd think that far down. Like, oh, my wife and my son have different last names than me. Because at the very core stuff, I don't know if I care enough, but I do care. It's like, hey. Maybe this probably should have been a conversation before we got married. Where I should have took your ass to the clinic knowing that kid wasn't going to have my last name. You go fuck somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's okay with that.
Make life easier on both of us.
Yeah, because I feel like obviously this is a big thing for both of them. That's something that should have been discussed prior. Now, obviously it wasn't a planned pregnancy.
But you
maybe
know we
y'all
say
don't
that,
believe in pro-choice.
But did you know ahead of time before you got married that your kids would have your last name?
Yes. I don't know if we talked about it. But it was kind of indirectly talk about it because she was like, oh, she didn't like her last name. Not the actual name itself, but just what she thought it meant. So she was like, yeah, I'm good to go. Get this shit off.
So she was proud to carry your last name.
I don't know, proud, but she was like.
You do have an odd last name, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Like when she says her name, she's like,
Is the O like, was that in your family history? Because I imagine that like 7 generations ago was O'Shaughnessy. Like they make it sound like real big nasty Irish.
Throw my government out there, but
okay.
I'm assuming
I got some editing to do anyway.
Nah, I don't. Why you didn't like the fact I said pussy?
They're within 7 seconds of each other. Easy click.
I'm assuming that's probably the case with the O's.
Like it just got dropped at some point.
I'm rolling with that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
How would you feel like? Because like, okay, so what? Like, let's say if your wife took a stand and was like, "Nah, I want them to have my last name."
We fighting. It's gonna be an argument. A few of them.
And like, you know, if you live in California and mom is present and is an active parent, you're powerless in this stance 100%. As a man.
I'm probably not gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm not that aggressive when I argue with her anyway.
A friend of mine, I won't say like, you know, anything else as indicators. A friend of mine's threatened to leave. Like, yo, I'm out. Like, if that's the case, like you do you.
That ain't my kid.
Yeah.
My kid would have had my last name.
But I mean, that's all he like. When I thought about it, like as fucked up as that sounds, when I thought about it, I was like, that's all he can resort to. Like, yo, your life just gonna be a little bit harder. I'll see you every other week. You know what I mean? Like that's all he had to retort to. When you think about it, what else could he have done? I'm interested in knowing what like people would say, like a man in that position. A woman can sit here and justify saying, hey, I gave birth. We can go to the courts. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk about X, Y, and Z and make me just look crazy for all that, for social norms. And, you know, part of it is because, like, I grew up with my dad's last name. You know what I mean? So I never had to deal with that. You know, my mom grew up with her dad's last name. So it's like it's tradition at this point. Like it's a norm within my family that you're trying to break because you're on some self-righteous Rosie the Riveter type shit. You know, and I'm all right with that, right? Go women, you know, more in the workplace, you know, like I'm okay with that. But hey, well, I draw the line at names.
Hey,
no pun on Lex's
dad's
shirt.
Present. Like if the dad bounced on you, yeah, kid's gonna have your last name.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I'm actively there, baby, we gotta conform. But I feel like like the middle name, like yo, like look, he can have your middle name. That's cool.
Look, I'm 6'2". Mary Birch's little cots are like 5'8". I slept on that bitch for like 5 nights.
Absolutely.
I was there.
Man, lack of sleep.
My man was in the NICU for 48 hours. I was the only one over there.
Yeah. You only talked to me about 24 hours. I'm telling you about a few day time span. I'm there for 72.
I'm just saying, like I didn't bounce.
We grasping at straws.
No, like, yeah, if it happened in my household, yeah, or anybody, you're probably going to lose because, yeah, it just is what it is.
I can't think of a way to force someone to do it. Like I don't.
But, yeah, you're right. But when I was talking to my sisters the other day up there, and they wasn't even trying to give us a day for, I was talking about thinking about getting snipped. And they're like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, you know, I get a free day to like kind of chill and post stuff and relax. Like, why the fuck you need a day for? I'm like, heard that shit kind of take a little bit out of you, no? They're like, so they just keep bringing up childbirth.
They're talking about
I'm like, childbirth? I was like, I didn't bring up childbirth. I'm talking about me. Yes, I might be inactive for a day.
Right.
Well, who's gonna get all the chores done?
But they acting like, but see, some of these women be acting like they give birth and go back to work the next day. Like, no, it takes you a few weeks to get back in shape. Like I get it, right? Childbirth is a very tough experience, I would say, right? Like based on observation, right? I'm just saying this like blanketly, but at the same time, if we was going back to my biblical brother that you was taking the hike with earlier, y'all gotta blame Eve.
Look.
She ate that forbidden fruit, and y'all go forever be in that debt.
Well, you were weak.
We're not acknowledging it. I mean, we're acknowledging it.
I'm saying from a biblical side, right? I'm just saying from a biblical side, y'all just gotta pay
the same way.
I'm just saying that's what the Bible said. Bible said we gotta blame
men's
Eve.
bodies are constructed differently. We're like, well, yeah, you can't be fighting girls, or you got to be lifting the big boxes and shit because y'all just naturally stronger than us. I get that, but when it comes to stuff like that, and we accept that both sides. But what women gotta understand is, yeah, there's certain parts of our bodies and stuff. Women are strong, and just like you expect us to lift the heavy boxes or be able to beat girls up at any given time.
I expect you to pop this baby out.
You can't expect us to know what type of strength that is the same way you don't know what type of strength it is that men naturally have over you. Women are stronger than men.
Most of the time.
I'm never going to sit here and not say that.
I watched that Gladiator doc. There were some strong women out there.
No. Women are stronger than men.
Absolutely.
I ain't never going to not say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, bringing up childbirth for every little thing. Like, come on now. All I said was, can I take a few hours off after I get snipped? Because I might be... And you know what?
I hear that my whole life.
Let's talk about.
My mom always tell me I gave birth to you.
Now I'm about to turn it up for the men.
Go ahead. I told you we was having fun today.
City boys, real quick.
Your dad had a vasectomy.
No,
why are you putting his business on the microphone?
He didn't want to come and talk about it earlier. He's like, nah.
He talk about it because it was important that he did because I was the one that had cancer and I couldn't take the birth control.
All right, Ma, you about to serious this out real quick. Hold
no,
up,
I'm trying to have fun real quick. What's not talked about enough about the childbirth process is the men. You be in that? I was in that hospital all week. It's mom this, mom that.
Present men too. We're talking about present men.
Yo, I'm here. I'm here too.
Yeah.
Dad's here too. I get it. Check on mom, all that shit. But you see,
lo and behold, Dad does all the cool shit for the active fathers.
You see, I'm 6'2", right? Like you see this cop about 5'8". How about you ask me how my neck was? Shit. But what's not talked about enough, and I think it's a real thing, I think men should talk about this amongst each other since women just don't seem to care.
They don't.
Yeah, I'm at the ledge now.
They don't. Go ahead. We there.
We in prefaces we talking about the present, man.
Yes.
We had to go through all that shit with you. And yeah, the physical part at the end, sure. We don't know what it's like shitting out an elephant.
Or even carrying too.
But at the same time is half of the pregnancy is mental. And if we're there trying to I'm saying,
he's on the ledge.
What I'm saying is what happens to a woman's body and the stuff that women think, especially ones that go into postpartum right afterwards. We got to deal with that shit too.
If we're present,
I got to deal with. We got to deal with all the mood swings, all the different just
walking on eggshells.
I'm there.
Walking on eggshells.
And then afterwards, it's like, oh, what if how it hits women is different, but a lot of women are just like, oh, now they're worried about the snapping back quickly, or they're not sleeping, or they're
irritable.
Maybe they don't feel this connection to the child they thought they should right
or
away.
even a connection with their husband or boyfriend.
Everything, all this stuff, and we're just right there trying to be supportive, and we're just getting beat up for it.
And that's tough.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you why it's tough.
That part's not acknowledged.
I'm gonna tell you why it's tough, because this is clearly someone who I love and I want to be with, right? But at the same token, I don't know how to help you right now because it's only an experience that you're going through, but you're not feeding me any information. Luckily, right, with my partner, that's not true, right? It didn't happen. It is true to a sense, but it didn't happen in a way where like something overtly happened. I just noticed that after a certain point, after my daughter was born, there was a behavioral change a year later, right? Because now the person that let's say a year and a half later, that I'm with now has a little bit more clarity. And there was a lot of stuff going on with our lives at that time. We lived here, for a little bit. She moved, from her folks' house or whatever to here. And then we were buying a house. There was a lot of shit going on, right? At the same token, but, to be there present. And I don't think, and I asked her, I was like, yo, did you experience like some postpartum, like sadness and stuff? She's like, yeah, and I sensed it. We never talked about it because we got through it the hard way, but at the same time, it is hard to be there, present for someone. But at the same token, I just know that, like, hey, you using childbirth as an excuse isn't fair to me because I'm here enduring some of those things there with you. And it may not be the physical stuff, but the mental strain of that is tough to get through.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
it.
I'm
on the ledge. You disagreed with everything else.
Yeah, but I said it in a better way. So I reset it like that because you see how my mom reacted.
I was trying to turn it up.
You turned it up. You got hurt bad. I can only imagine what the other women are saying if they even made it that far.
If one of the 7 that hit you was a woman, you're like, never mind, fuck him. Hope he's doing
bad. She popped in my head right now because I like she's one of the female listeners that I know that we have. So, but I don't want to get no descriptors because I want people to know that they have anonymity with me. So, yeah, man. I mean, the last name thing, that's tough, bro. I don't know what to tell you other than stand your ground and if your presence is needed. It sounds like y'all were well off prior to you all meeting each other. You got good jobs and everything, but if you got to use the "Hey, I'm out" card, feel free, brother.
He's not going to use that card because he don't want to be out. It's just one argument, one disagreement they're having.
I tell my wife this all the time. Sometimes I just say shit to see if it's sting and bite. That's toxic, but fuck it. I admit it. People say shit to other people to get under their skin all the time. But I say shit to you that I don't necessarily believe in just to get a rise out of you. Right? We do it all together, right? Now maybe
playing that game with your spouse though is a little dangerous.
It is dangerous, but people do it all. Like I'm talking about it as if and people may react like it's the worst thing, but think back. Like how someone said something to you, or not someone, how your significant, you could be male or female, how your significant other said something to you and you just feel powerless in that scenario, so you say something to undercut them. We all fucking do it, right? I just want to be honest about it out the gate though. So yeah. All right, hit my hand class, man. Random shit to fill in time. 3 things you do right now that you plan for, like in regards to getting older. What are 3 things that you actively do right now to have a successful, like, older life?
Invest.
Okay. Invest in. We're giving gems out here right now, so give your gems. What does Lex invest into? What does that specifically say?
I invest in, like, money-wise to make sure the funds are there for when I'm older. I invest in my health to make sure I'm still there when I'm older.
So the hikes?
No, I mean, I'm a fairly active person, whether there's a mountain around or not, just because movement's medicine. And, you know, like, you stop moving something, it don't work the same. And the hikes really tell me that, because all the walking or running that I do, hiking is different. It hit different muscles.
Yeah, like your glutes and
So
hammies.
if he's like, "Woo, yeah, that one ain't hit in a minute," and yeah, it'll get to you. So just, you know,
that's two. We have health and investing. Let's specifically invest in properties.
What else I do? I feel like that's the big two. I'll probably do some shit that I ain't thinking about.
Things that I do, definitely the investing in health. So I make sure I have high blood pressure, man. My dad is skinny, he got it. I got it's just a genetic thing. I try not to eat a lot of sodium. So I take my medication, right? I definitely, if I always go to the gym. I don't post about it on social media, but my watch go off, your watch go off all the time. I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I'm exercising 4 or 5 days a week for at least an hour, right? That's the time. They tell you 30. All right, I'm gonna bang out another 30 and make sure. And that's the shit that I can control, right? Also make sure I go to the doctor, right? That's part of me like preparing on getting older and hoping that like I catch something if it per se happens or whatever. Like I invest in my health. I went to the dentist yesterday, which was a crazy experience. Real side note conversation. I had to get to a tea time at 9:30. My dentist appointment was at 8. I swear it was only going to take 45 minutes. We were pushing it. Now, this was an older white lady, maybe in her late 50s, early 60s. I know a lot about her within the hour that I was there because I was the first appointment and she wanted to talk to me, which was crazy. I forgot that this even happened, and I wasn't going to share this, but I do now. I'm in a great fun mood. I don't know if she was hitting on me. I don't think she was.
Gotta be 100% clear.
Right. I wasn't sure, but it's between that and acting like a mother towards me, right? Because
it's a wide range.
Every time she was cleaning my mouth and a little drop just landed on my lip, the way she rubbed it off with her finger on the glove, not even with the napkin, was kind of crazy. And I took it. It was one of those like Silence of the Lambs type wipes. Like, yo, you got to relax.
You was just getting it clean?
I was just getting it cleaning, but every time she was... And
so you ain't had no laughing gas or nothing on you?
Nothing, bro. Like, I just sat... I'm looking... you sitting with your mouth wide...
Didn't even use a little sucker.
Like, it puts the lotion on the skin type thing, bro. And she kept finding other shit to do besides, like, clean my teeth. Messing around with the little machine, going to help somebody else. I'm like, fam, I gotta be somewhere. Very nice, thoughtful, older white lady. You know what I'm talking about, right? You may look out the window and say, hey, there's some activity going on across the street. You guys might want to see us send a squad car out here. I'm in La Mesa, right? Nice neighborhood, But anyway, I invest in my health and making sure that, I'm good and everything. And then financially, I'm not 100% where I want to be financially. I would say that I'm halfway there. I do want to buy another home so that I can use my current home as an investment property. Lord willing, granting them great health, this house would be mine. So I would have 3 properties, you know what I mean? But not anytime soon, right? So with that being said, I'm not wishing that on them, but I want all that so that my family is straight, my generations are straight. So those are the 2 ways that I do that. And then the third thing that I do in regards to like successfully aging or getting to that spot, because that's 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line, right? I plan to retire and all that other shit, right? So I plan on having like all these experiences with my kids, right? So that they're more worldly. Like they're like, yo, I know it sucks and people tell you not to look at it like this, but your kids are insurance. Shit get real bad. I need you to be able to take care of me. I need you to know what the value of family is. You know what I mean? I need you to know all the nice shit I did for you when you was young or whatever. Kind of like how your mom be reminding you of shit all the time, right? Oh, I did this, right? I agree with your mom in certain capacities, right? Because I did all that to make you a well-rounded person that cares about your family and what actually goes on with them. Now, her methods may not be 100% approved, right? But
is it that time to turn it dark? I haven't done it yet.
How much time we got left? But I'm saying, like, those are the three things that I do to to make sure that I get to a successful old age.
I think that's pretty much what everybody should be doing if that's what they're thinking about.
Yeah.
Most important things.
But some people don't think about that. You know, a lot of people, and here's the thing, we were talking about dating and stuff like that. Here's the thing that I'm learning on the first date. If you ain't got a plan for your life or like have any ambition, like you don't have to know exactly what you want to do, but just know that you want to do something. I can fucking work with that. My wife wasn't where she wanted to 100% be when I met her. Neither was I, but I'm talking about her, right? But I have to make sure I cast that in there. But, you know, she was willing, you know what I mean? And still is willing, you know? And so that's where we're on the same page about, and that's our plan as we get older. It's like we share the same values and shit like that. So next question. We're really getting in our bag. Do you send immediate or extended family birthday gifts?
I'm usually not in charge of the gifts in my house.
But someone does?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Will you do sign cards or nothing? You're not involved at all. You just, there's an expectation that stuff is already had.
I just sign cards, deliver gifts that are, I don't know what it is.
When's the last time you gave somebody a birthday gift in your family? Who?
In my family?
Yeah. You. And what was it?
Probably my niece.
Nah, I need an older adult.
Oh, an older adult.
Over 18.
Oh. Man, fuck them kids.
I thought about it because I got family members and people that still buy me stuff. It's like, I don't have an expectation because I can afford to get certain things. I just don't because I don't necessarily need it, right? But what I typically do is like Debo or my cousin Alonzo, for example, right? When their birthdays came up and they had like events for us to go out to and I just couldn't make it, I sent them 15 and said, yo, the first one's on me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You know, but that's probably about it. Like, whatever I'm doing is related to, like, whatever I may do is related to where you're going.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to go eat something or whatever, all right, plates on me, my bad. You know, I could have been there. Or plates on me, it's your birthday or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
if that counts, then I do that.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, because as men, I don't think I give other men gifts. Like, I bought my dad an Apple Watch, and I was like, oh, I should be good for 3 years. Right? And then, that's why for Father's Day, I told him, I was like, look, man, like, I can buy you a gift or whatever, but it took him a year to wear his Apple Watch, right? It took him a while. So, like, let's just, you know, we going to Palm Springs, you know, the following week. You know, I ain't getting you no card because that don't necessarily matter. It's going to be up for about a month or two, and then you're going to take it down. I could buy you something, but it don't matter. Let me buy you an experience. I gave him $50 for the casino. Like, go ahead. His first was, if you hit big, cool. I allotted you that. I drove you there. You know, and I paid for the machine. Like, yo, I'm giving you the experience. So much about life is about experiences. So, yeah. All right. Last one. And then we out of here for the day. How well do you take advice from friends, maybe your therapist or your wife? Like, how do you take that advice? Do you just store it in the bank and say, all right, like that's good to know. I can consider that. Do you heed to it? Like, do you utilize that advice, trying those techniques and stuff like that? Or do you just, you know, hey, look, like I value what other people's opinions are and I let them steer the ship, right? I'm giving you all three phases of like where that advice could take you. I discredit people when they tell me stuff.
I consider all advice. I guess it gets further depending on who's giving the advice and what type of advice it is.
That's why I said friend, therapist, wife.
I wish my therapist would give me some fucking advice.
Who gives, in your opinion, right? Because now we really gonna get to the nitty gritty. I wanna ask this: who gives the best advice in your opinion? The one. Do you have a person that gives you the most advice where you consider the most and say, you know what, they may be right on that. Let me act on that.
I don't know if it's more about
facts shape my opinion a lot. And the hard thing about like relationships and shit like that is that there are no facts in regards to that, unless facts are like what did or did not happen, right? But like someone offering me relationship advice, like it's just not gonna work for me because it's like I know my personality is already different from a lot of my friends in the first place, right? How I like react to things, how I do things. So I automatically discredit what someone is telling me because it's like, yo, that's how you would do something. And we're only friends because I just see a different perspective, you know, from you. I wouldn't want to be friends with someone like myself. I want people to be different from me, right? So I just want to see what you do and not hear about it, like, because I'm asking you directly for advice. I just want to see how you move because then that correlates, like, how I'm going to move and how I want to be, like, in my own, like, space. You get what I'm saying in regards to that? Like, does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because everybody gives you advice, and most people are going to throw 90% of it away.
Absolutely. I give you advice all the time. Unsolicited, too. I know this, right? And you gonna do whatever the fuck you gonna do.
Yeah, I consider all advice. I'll put in there, whether it's like, oh, I ain't thought about it that way. Let me store it right here and see if that comes up later. Or, you know, I did think about it. I did think about that option already. So let me, all right, put it like in survey mode. Like, oh, that's one other person that thought like that. And then, yeah, some, you know. Shit, we don't even take our doctor's advice a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
That is true. Bro told me 1,000 milligrams of sodium a day. Some days I feel
you
like
did that shit at breakfast. And there was the most American shit ever. You was knocking out that plate, called that shit broccoli, and then had the nerve to wash it down with a Dr. Pepper.
Wash it down. It's crazy. I hate when you say it. Because I'm actively washing it down. Like, that's part of my habit, right? I eat something and mix it in with the drink taste.
You
like,
sat here and tried to sell me 0 sugar Dr. Pepper at 9 a.m. because you're going to be drinking sparkling water all day.
I drink sparkling water all day is what I'm saying. Like, I'm used to the sun. So all you're doing is making it darker now. That is I mean, with some sodium, because sparkling water doesn't have any sodium in it, but this does for the taste-wise. But, you know, yeah. Whatever, man. I fucking wanted salt and pepper chicken wings for breakfast. I don't know what else to tell you.
You a grown ass man.
I'm about to eat a egg white, leaf and an avocado sandwich tomorrow morning for breakfast. So it's just where the name of the game takes me.
Yeah, I'm all types of bad right now. I might not eat the whole week.
But yeah, all right. 3 cheers, man. What we got? We can get up out of here. We ran out of his spurt and mine too. Not gonna just throw it on him. We gave you an hour and 23 though. Solid hour and 23. Do I need 3 cheers? I want to get off. Oh, you know what? Yes, I do. And this is actually a valuable one. Make sure I get this one out the way. You got my buttons? All right,
oh yeah, I gotta clap that shit.
Yeah, you gotta clap it up. Yo, shout out to the Martin Luther King Rec Center, man. Like, they still are throwing together like programs that are beneficial for youth. I know we talked about swimming the other day, but my wife sent me a video of my stepson, and literally 3 weeks ago when we went to Palm Springs, after 4 or 5 like swimming trips, right? I couldn't get him to get his head underwater, right? Let alone get his head underwater and do all the other shit. Like the difficult thing about having kids is finding things that we have spent the last 25 to 30 years already knowing how to do and explaining to them so that they don't hurt. I mean, it doesn't hurt them. Like getting him to put his head on the water. Yo, stop drinking the water. Stop having to go through your nose. All this other shit, right? The same conversations, right? Well, they offered a swimming class for kids if you got there early enough, where I think it was only like $5 for the whole thing, or maybe 10 or something like that. My mom went and did it, right? She found it somehow. And my daughter didn't get a chance to go to the first one, the first week, because she was sick with a cold. But yo, he puts his head on the water. He can kick his feet and go about 4 feet. You know what I mean? We got to work on swimming in deep water. But, you know, shout out to them for just offering that. You know what I mean? Now, I could pay for the expensive joint, but why? Hell nah. Look, if she got to go up there and act like she grandma on a single income or whatever just for us to get it, hey, fair is fair. We live here too, baby. Y'all right down the street. That I'm a
good times at MLK.
That's what I'm saying. And that water used to have the most chlorine in all of San Diego.
I ain't getting in that pool. But yeah, you gotta wear the new shoes. That floor is the dustiest floor I've ever played basketball on. Like, how my ACL is still intact.
And that buffering is expensive, though. I get why they don't do the buffing.
Man,
is expensive.
they would sit. Damn, y'all just swept it. Man, I used to do 8 a.m. Saturday morning aerobics with the old ladies in there. He had the whole team in there.
Yeah.
The warm-up, our warm-up used to be running from Morse to MLK.
Damn.
And he would follow us.
That's a little more than a mile.
He would follow us in the car. Never mind. That's not right. Yeah. Follow us in the car with like an egg McMuffin. Just, y'all better not let me beat you. And then we do Saturday morning aerobics. We'd have a practice, and then we'd run to Encanto and practice there.
Damn.
Yeah, that year we got like hit on by the city. Like, hey, I think you guys are over your practice hours. When are they getting their homework done? And I'm like, yo, we be here fucking late at night, man.
I'll be tired. Did y'all win?
We number one defense in the city.
I mean, nah.
Big man can't hit no free throws.
5 Bruce Bowens.
A lot of fucking CIF, man.
All right, man. We out of here, man. It was a solid pod, man.
Shout out to MLK.
Hopefully y'all have fun with us, man.
Shout out Coach Jeff.
I definitely got to put this one on the video.
Static Selector.